Hey everybody, thanks for watching Arkansas Gun Guy, where today I'm going to do yet another comparison video of two guns that probably no one is looking to see compared. At least I did a quick YouTube search and I didn't see any videos of these two guns being compared, but this weekend I was out shooting my newish Sig X-Ten, getting it all loosened up and warmed up and broken in. And as I'm shooting this really big gun that shoots really big bullets, I thought, man, this feels suspiciously like another gun that I have, a big gun that shoots really big bullets, which is my HK USP45. So I thought, hey, why not do a quick comparison video of the Sig X-Ten in 10mm versus the HK USP45 chambered in 45 ACP. And that way, if you're in the market for a full-size gun that shoots really good ammo, then maybe this will help make your decision. I'll tell you along the way, I actually even have an official scoring chart this time to help keep track of all the comparisons. So as I flip the camera around to a tabletop, we'll go through each of these different attributes with points assigned to them and see if there's a winner at the end. Who knows? Maybe there will be. So I'm going to flip the camera around, look at these two guys close up, talk about what I know, what I like, what I don't like, and see if there's a clear winner at the end. As always, if you would, please like and subscribe to help me so much with YouTube algorithms. I'm a little channel trying to get bigger, and I really appreciate your help. Thanks so much for watching, and here's the close-up. Okay, guys, here we go. Two guns, two big guns that shoot big bullets. Right here we have the Sig X-Ten, chambered in 10mm. And over here, the HK USP45, chambered in, you guessed it, 45 ACP. One super kind of interesting fact I like to talk about first is this is a gun that was designed 30 years ago that shoots a bullet that was designed probably 120 years ago. So a 30-year-old gun shooting a 120-year-old bullet, and it's still really relevant today. Over on this side, we have a little more of science. I mean, over here, this thing was designed back when people rode horses still, and it won a couple of world wars, and other wars maybe. So the 45 ACP, big dang deal. So now over here we have this new gun. This X-Ten was designed maybe 2 years ago in 2023, and this shoots a 10mm round that's only 40 years old, designed in the 80s. It's an interesting comparison of different age of the guns and the ages of the ammunition and how relevant they still are. So again, as I go through this, again, I have this fancy official scorecard we'll look at. I'll go through each of the guns and compare caliber, capacity, reliability, the trigger, sights, price, different features, as well as my zombie factor. And again, assign points for all those and have a winner at the end. But before I do the official scoring, I thought was kind of look at the dimensions and the guns close up. So again, I said they're both big. On paper, it looks like the Sig is longer. I'll tell you in person though, I don't get that same feeling. And maybe it's just a beaver tail. Because if I try to line these guys up here, again, on paper, the H&K is 7.8 inches long. The Sig is 8.5 inches long. And it does look longer, I guess. Maybe if I just back them up this way, it's easier to tell. So the Sig is a little bit longer, and it does feel longer, actually. Width-wise, they're close to the same. The H&K is 1.26 inches wide, and the Sig is 1.3. So pretty much the same width. Height-wise, exactly the same. So interesting, they're both exactly the same height. And then weight-wise, the H&K weighs 33 ounces. The Sig weighs almost 35 ounces, 34.8, so a little bit heavier. So they are very similar. One thing I noticed when looking at them side by side, though, is the fact that this trigger is really far forward. I'm gonna put the Sig on top of the H&K, and when you look at it, you'll see how easy it is to reach this trigger if you have like small hands, I guess. But this trigger is going to be really far forward with an enormous trigger guard, so you can use it with gloves. Let me turn this way, and then set the Sig on top of it. So they're almost identical, right? But then look at that trigger placement. If you can see, the Sig is way back here, and the H&K is way up there. So I just thought that was super interesting, that while they are very closely aligned size-wise, that's a pretty big difference for trigger placement. And again, that massive trigger guard on the H&K to be worn with gloves, or used as operators using with gloves. So that's kind of a quick side-by-side comparison. I will do a quick safety check for those that care about those kinds of things. You can see there are no magazines in either gun. And free and clear there on the Sig. And free and clear there on on the H&K. So now that you've seen side by side, let's start looking at just some of the things I want to score and look at. First, we'll talk about caliber. And again, this scorekeeping is officially my point of view, which my wife tells me is usually wrong. So you'll probably have a different opinion, and that's okay. But first, I want to start with caliber. Again, the 45 ACP has been around for 120 years, won a bunch of wars, super important, and I love the 45 ACP. But my favorite caliber overall is the 10 millimeter. I just think it's a wonderful caliber. Shoots so accurately, so much fun to shoot. So I'm giving 1 point to the Sig for caliber because that's the one I like the best. Now, capacity-wise, Sig also wins here because in the Sig you get 15 rounds of 10 millimeter. On the H&K, you still get a massive rounds of 12 rounds of 45 ACP. But I used my calculator and counted my fingers and my toes and found out that 15 is more than 12. So 1 more point for the Sig here. But this may tighten up. We'll see. Reliability, I'm going to talk about that while I'm here. I will tell you absolutely reliability goes to the H&K. Again, this gun's been around for over 30 years. Used by militaries all over the world. This thing always just works. It just does. No matter what you do, whatever I fire through this thing, it's never failed to fire. It was good when I got it. No break-in period, nothing to do there. It's just always worked perfectly. H&K's kind of always just done that anyway. So massive 1 point to H&K, not even close. Because the Sig, while I love the Sig, I love 10 millimeter, I love the 15 round capacity. I'll tell you in a second, I love how the thing shoots. It's a phenomenal gun to shoot. It's a pain in the butt right now as it's brand new. If you have 15 rounds in the magazine, it's hard as heck to rack. I did a separate video on that. And actually, the last time I went to the range, I had a couple of misfires. Have never had that before. So I'm working through all those things now. I've had a couple of Sigs that I had to get maybe 100 and 200 rounds to before they were functioning the way I think they should be. No problems with the H&K ever there. So 1 point for reliability to H&K. Next, trigger. So H&K has got, the curved trigger here, and this is a double action, single action, where the X-10 is a striker fire gun. Normally, I prefer double action, single action trigger. Just like them better. But I'll tell you, as I've been shooting them, I shoot this flat trigger on the Sig a whole lot better. So look at the kind of the pull weight here. Again, double action, single action on the H&K. So again, you have one big heavy pull up front. Thing on cycles, and then reset is there, and it comes right back. It's a real nice trigger. This is a stock trigger that came in there, and it's good. I shoot it really well, and I like it. But for some reason, again, this is my opinion, I just shoot this flat trigger Sig better. And I don't know exactly why. No first pull on striker fire. You have to rack the gun first, and it breaks at 90 degrees like this. Reset is right there, super clean and crisp. They're both good triggers, but I actually shoot the Sig a little bit better. So right now the Sig's breaking away. We'll see how this thing all lines up at the end. Looking at sights, and these are just factory sights on these guns. The H&K has got a 3-dot system here. You can see 3 white dots, get them lined up, and they're fine. They're a little bit of light will activate them at night so they glow. And they're good sights, they're not great sights. I do like Sig sights better. I'm just going to go ahead and say it out loud. You've got the green sights up front, oops, and the blacked out rears, and that green, I'm sorry, they do have 2 dots in the back, my apologies. You've got the 2 dots back here and the green dot up front. Makes them super easy to shoot. I just have an easier time shooting and seeing these sights. So again, another point for the Sig here. I'll just keep powering through the list before I get to features, because features I'll take a closer look at everything. Price-wise, I forget the exact retails you'll get these for. This guy's usually well over $1,000. This guy is quite a bit less than that. So another point here for Sig, getting a really big early lead on price. Now, features. The H&K has got a lot of features that I like. Again, I like a good double action, single action trigger, which is what this guy is. But it's also got this amazing little lever here that is your safety and your decocker as well. So if you have the gun cocked, safety's on, can't actuate it. You can sweep here and then straight to fire. Also, safety's on, you can sweep the safety. You can also decock the gun like this. So it's easy to carry one in the chamber, cocked and locked. So that's a cool feature. The stippling on the grip is good. We've got some different texture back here versus the front. I do love this enormous trigger guard. It's really easy to get your fingers in there if you have gloves on, I imagine. I have medium to large size hands, so I don't have a problem reaching the trigger. I do have friends with small hands, small gloves, that say they don't like these because they're just a little bit too big. But I do have no trouble reaching this trigger. I will tell you, looking at this side, this is the right side of the gun for left-handed shooters. Nothing here. I don't have a slide stop. I do have the mag release. I do like the mag release on the HK better than the Sig. Yeah, you have your slide stop over here, and that's about it. It's got lots of features. Nothing out of the world, but I do like the safety and decocker. On the Sig, again, not a lot of features otherwise. You don't need the decocker and safety when it's a hammer fired gun. I guess you could need the safety, but there is no safety on this guy. You've got the button release here, which is reversible to the left hand for left-handed shooters. On this side, again, you could reverse the mag release here if you needed to, and you have a slide stop on this side. So it's probably a little better for being ambi for left-handed shooters like me. And the big thing I forgot to mention that the HK doesn't have, because it didn't really exist 30 years ago when this gun was made, there's no optics cut on here. I'm sure you can have it sent somewhere and have your beautiful gun cut and milled. Don't want to do that. The Sig comes optic ready. I think it's milled for, I'm sure it's milled for all the Sigs. I know the Romeo 2 fits on this one. I think it's cut also for the Delta Point Pro. I'm not sure what else. But so just with the optics options and the more ambi options, I'm going to go ahead and give the features call to the Sig. So Sig has a big early lead, right? But what's most important, when the zombies come, when zombie apocalypse happens and you have to have a gun to go run defend yourself and your family, which one of these are you going to grab? And this is a 5-point question. So I love 10 millimeter. I love 10 millimeter. Stopping power, accuracy, range, everything is great about 10 millimeter. And I love this gun. But when stuff gets deep, I absolutely want to go to the H&K for 5 points over here because it just works. It just always works. It holds a healthy 12 rounds, 45 ACP, and you carry bunches with you. For enough bullets, you can throw this gun at people and kill them because it's so big and heavy. It's just a wonderful gun. So 5 points for the H&K on zombies. That's a grand total of 6. Over here on the Sig, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, heck. Tied again. I never seem to pick a winner. But anyway, that was me just doing a fun close-up look at 2 awesome big guns that shoot big bullets. Thank you guys so much for watching Arkansas Gun Guy. I really appreciate y'all.